to MMA Fancast. My name is Luke Payson. Welcome back to everyone who's already a subscriber to the show. If you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe so you can see more great interviews, including the one coming at you right now. Always an honor to have first-time guest of the show on, and we have a first-time guest on the show on right now tonight. Evan, really great to have you on. Evan Furlong has your MMA debut coming up for 247 Fighting Championships Brawl in the Burgh 21, April 20th, just 2.5 weeks away at Hollywood Casino at the Meadows. Evan Furlong, welcome to the show.
How are you? Thanks for having me.
Great having you on. I'm doing real well. Always better when I can have a new fighter on the show. Before we talk about that fight coming up April 21st, April 20th for Brawl in the Burgh 21. Fun little word number play there. Talk to me about what sports did you do growing up? Prior to MMA, what was your athletic pursuits?
Yeah, so as a kid, I always played football. That was my number one sport. Throughout high school, I played football and I wrestled a couple years, but mostly just keyed on football, and that's about it. Yeah.
Okay, so what position were you in football when you were really pursuing that?
I was a linebacker. I was a fullback, running back, but mostly linebacker was my position, and I had a blast. I had a blast playing, but.
That's great. And what took you from high school linebacker to MMA? When did you start training? What got you interested from changing over from football into MMA?
Yeah, so I had a friend who was talking to me, told me he did jujitsu, and to be honest, I had no clue what jujitsu was. I just knew watching MMA that people were tapping each other out, So I said, I'm gonna give it a shot. I went and trained with him, and the first day I just fell in love with it. And I started at a gym in Clarion, and then I found my gym, React, and I've been there ever since. And we've just been growing daily, and yeah, I love it.
And how long have you been training at React? And talk to us about, you're now a blue belt in BJJ. So what was that leveling up like? How long have you been training? That's usually a couple years to get your blue belt. So what has the tournaments been like? What have things been like for you on your jiu-jitsu path?
Yeah, we've been traveling around, competing all over the place. My last tournament was down in Virginia. I've been training for about 2.5 years now, I would say. Um, and the best. I couldn't ask for better coaches, better teammates. We work super, super hard, and just recently we've been looking for a fight. We've been training hard. Finally, we found this respected opponent. I can't wait. So, yeah,
Well,
it'll be
that's
fun.
really great to hear about your training, getting ready. Obviously, tournaments are really good mentally and physically because you do back-to-back competitions over a day, more like a wrestling style, but in jiu-jitsu. So that's really good. Prep for
Yeah.
MMA, you've got to get dialed in. Let's talk about, you brought him up. Your opponent is a Division I wrestler, Jack Leto. What do you know about him, and what made you say yes to this fight? And then let's dovetail it right into your prediction and your mindset coming into this fight.
Yeah, I know he's a Division I wrestler, so I have to respect that. And I got a lot of good training partners. My coach, Scott Rendos, he's a Division I wrestler. Tyler Dilly, he's a good training partner of mine. He's a Division I wrestler. I train with Evan DeLong. So I've been working my wrestling. I'm pretty excited about it, and I can't wait to put on a show out there.
It does give you confidence when you've been training against high-level wrestlers. That way you can develop your skills against somebody similar to what Jack's likely to bring to the table. Talk about Evan DeLong. He's a guy that's been on the show a couple times. He's fought for 247. From what I can remember, a very high-level wrestler in his own right. So pretty sure he fought at 170 where you're going to be fighting. So what's it like training with him? Is he one of your main sparring partners? And has he given you any insight into MMA since he's already fought for the promotion?
Yeah. He's been coaching wrestling, so I haven't seen him much. But he gave me a lot of tips. He has a lot of knowledge when it comes to wrestling. But mostly it's been Tyler Dilly. He's been a very good training partner of mine. He wrestled for Lock Haven University, and every single day he's just giving me great tips. And Scott, my coach, he's also giving me great tips. I'm ready to mix it all together and see what happens.
Well, I mean, that makes a lot of sense. I do know that we're coming out of the middle school, high school, collegiate, academic wrestling time. So really great that you've had stable training partners, as you said, in Tyler Dilly and Scott Rendos, your coach. So that's fantastic. You said you're willing to mix it all together, which is wonderful. Is that where you're gonna like leave your prediction? Do you want to give a prediction, or is it really just about getting in there and putting on your best against Jack Leto, April 20th, Brawl in the Burgh 21?
Yeah, we have a plan. We're gonna stick to the plan. I'm not gonna give any predictions
Of
because it's a
course,
secret. It's part of the game plan. Um, we
sure.
got plan A, and if that goes wrong, we can switch it up in an instant, go to plan B. If that don't work, we got plan C. My coach has got me fully prepared for this fight, and I'm just ready to go in and give it my all. It's
Well,
gonna be
I'm
fun.
excited. I'm always excited to be able to interview new up and comers, particularly how deep MMA is getting now. You roll back 10 years ago, you didn't have as many gyms. You didn't have gyms with as much focus from, Division One wrestlers all the way up through. We just had 2 years ago, Penn State, three-time Division One national champ, four-time qualifier, of course, in Bo Nickel. Literally, ATT created a whole gym basically based around him in Happy Valley. And for him to make that decision as high level as he is, I think is showing more and more that MMA can be a real future for high level athletes, whether it's wrestling, your case, football. And I think more and more effort and coaching is being put into it. So you, Jack, everybody that's going to be on that card goes from debut versus debut, like you guys, all the way up to 15, 20 pro fights, real experience. And that's what makes 247 really great for people that aren't going to be able to come in for it. If they want to come in person, get tickets from 247fighting.com or from you or your gym directly, or they can download the app on any app store, 247 Live, and go ahead and either get the pay-per-view for your fight and give you credit, of course, select your name, or they can go ahead and get the whole year subscription, and that gives them access to all the fights that 247 has ever put on. It's really been exciting to have you on the show. For people that may not know, 247 Fighting Championships is doing a back-to-back doubleheader. The night before you make your debut will be Sprawl in the Burgh 3, which is primarily no gi. There's one announced gi match, but they're BJJ super fights inside the MMA cage. They've really been super successful, and that's a doubleheader. Doubleheader is always more exciting, and you're a big part of the big finale part of MMA. Really fantastic having you on. Can't wait to see you live in action. 247 Fighting Championships Brawl in the Burgh 21, April 20th. I just realized one last question. You are going to be, in some ways, the fighter coming in to a hostile crowd. What's your mindset? A lot of people know Jack's older brother, James, who's actually supposed to be on this card fighting for an amateur 185-pound belt. Unfortunately, that fight has fallen through. Maybe he'll still be on it, but there's going to be a lot of pro Leto fans in the crowd. What's your mindset? What's that fighter's mindset when you come in to a hostile crowd environment?
Yeah, so I mean, I live in the middle of nowhere. I know that it's going to be hard to get my fans down there. It's going to be mostly all his fans, but I'm used to it. It don't bother me at all. I'm ready to hear it. No, I'm not. I'm used to this mind game stuff. They try to play it. It's fine.
All right. It's a great mindset to have. I know you had said you were just doing tournaments out of your area too, since you're from a rural area. And I think that is a mental strength that you have, that you're used to going on the road, driving hours. That's another thing. Having been a coach and, drove fighters around, sometimes we go 6, 7 hours in a car ride. And there's a mental thing of a fighter, if they're going to travel that far, to be able to physically and mentally handle the road. It's a lot easier if you're a half hour down the street. So, so really great having you on the show. You got a great mindset. Can't wait to see you. Always wonderful to see two debut fighters throw down. Can't wait. Thanks so much for coming on the show. This has been Luke Bass of MMA Fan Guest with Evan Furlong. Thanks so much for coming on the show.
Yeah, I'm excited. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Brother.